Hey, what's up everybody? Chris here, and today I'm going to take you on a tour of my Funko Pop collection. I love collecting Funko Pops. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money to get into that as a hobby, even though some of the different ones that are a little more rare, that come from conferences and conventions and that sort of thing, obviously can cost a little bit more, but it's a really fun thing to do, and I love doing it. And as of today, I have 50 pieces in my collection. So it's certainly not, a quote unquote epically large collection or anything like that. It's very modest, but it's growing quickly. I've got some pieces in it, though, that I think are really cool and really great, and I'm going to walk you through those. And so let's take a look. Okay, so starting out, you've got kind of an overview here of what the collection looks like. And so this isn't all of them, actually. I have a handful on the other wall, which we'll take a look at. And I'll just kind of give you a quick description of each of these and just kind of tell you my thoughts about what's cool about most of these. There are a couple that I do have a couple of issues with, either in terms of delivery and packaging, which it has nothing to do with Funko at all. That was purely an Amazon incident in and of itself. And I do think there are a couple where the design could maybe be a little bit better, but in general, these are ones that I love and ones that I think other people would enjoy too. So what we'll do here is we'll just start at the top of the collection to see what we have. And so this is one of my more recent pickups. This is a Stan Lee figure that is sort of reminiscent of a Peter statue. I've always wanted to have a Stan Lee Funko. I managed to find one that I really like the design of. And in fact, I found it at GameStop, and when I found it, the employees seemed really surprised that I had found it and that they had it in stock, because apparently he also had been looking for it, but he was kind enough to relinquish it, which I guess it's his job to do that. And I picked that up recently, and I really like it. I think it's a really cool design. Moving over here, I've got one that I had been keeping my eye on for a while when I saw that it was announced. I've mentioned before on the channel that I'm a really big Star Wars fan. I think that the Darth Vader throwing the Emperor over the ledge in Return of the Jedi and being electrocuted pop is one of the coolest ones. And so if you look at that, you can see that it kind of has sort of a translucent appearance to it, and that you can see his skull illuminated just like you can in the movie. And it just looks really cool, and I'm happy to have it in the collection. I like Conan O'Brien a lot, and so there are a variety of Conan O'Brien Funko Pops out there that one can collect. I found one that I thought just looked really cool, kind of the superhero pose from Conan, GameStop exclusive. I found it. I'm trying to remember where I actually got this one. Oh, I know now because I'm looking at it and it's jarring my memory. A lot of these Funkos you're going to notice have price tags on them, because a lot of these I've gotten from a local video game store, not a GameStop, but a local non-franchise store that I really like a lot that sells retro games, Funko Pops, statues, and a lot of other stuff. But I found this Conan Funko there and just liked it a lot. I guess it had originally been procured at a GameStop, but I picked it up not too long ago. If you do any of the Smuggler's Bounty Funko Pop boxes for Star Wars, you're likely to get one of these movie moments Funkos as part of that. And so some people like these a lot. Some people hate them. I'm in the camp that thinks they're awesome. I really like them. I've only gotten one of these so far because I just recently joined this. But this is the movie moment where Luke in The Empire Strikes Back cuts off what he thinks is Vader's head when he's on Dagobah, but it's sort of a self-reflective moment with the dark side where he sees that he may be heading down the same path that Vader is heading down. And so I thought this was a really cool idea for a Funko Pop, and I like it a lot, even though I know some people aren't the biggest fan of those movie moments design. I think mainly because of how big they are, but I think it looks really cool, and I like it a lot. So there's that. Moving over just a little bit further here, some of my other Star Wars Pops, and these are not in any particular order, as you can tell. Basically, so far as I've collected these, I've just kind of stacked them up for display purposes. I am going to organize them soon, but just for now, I've got them sort of stacked up, as you can see. So the Han Solo Pop, which came from the 2017 Galactic Convention, was an exclusive there. Picked that up for $12, which I thought was a good deal. Also, old Luke from, I guess, the end of The Force Awakens and Last Jedi, $12 as well. And actually, I should add, the video game store that I picked these up at, Video Game World, where I live here in Huntersville, North Carolina, has a deal where you can usually get buy two, get one free on all pops that are $12 or less, I think is the cutoff. So that's where I end up getting a lot of these. I try to go once a week and pick one up. If I can, it doesn't always work out where I'm able to do that just because of my work schedule and other things. But both of those are cool Star Wars Pops that I was happy to add to my collection. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel, even though I know some people weren't the biggest fans of it. I thought it was a great movie. So I wanted to have Carol Danvers in some form in my Funko collection. Found this one. It's a bobblehead. I think it looks really cool. She's got the leather jacket. Hot Topic exclusive, which those are always fun to get. So I enjoyed picking that up. So Gremlins. Gremlins was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. And I've always wanted to add as many of those Funkos to my collection as I could. So far, I've only picked up one of these. I got this one on Amazon, and as you can see, the box is just obliterated. They did a terrible job with the packaging on that, and so that was not an awesome thing. I was really upset about that, actually. I should have sent it back. I didn't. I just stuck it in the collection. More than likely, at some point down the line, I'll get another one of the Flashing Gremlin Funkos and just give this one to one of the kids, and they can toss the box. But I do like the design of it, and I think it's a hilarious Funko. And then, of course, next to that, I am a huge Jurassic Park fan. Let's see what's going on with my phone here, or my camera here. I'm going to take this off. Okay. I am a huge Jurassic Park fan, and I wanted one of the Funko collections that was not quite a movie moment, but it had Nedry, it had the Dilophosaurus, it had the ink being sprayed on his face. That looks like it was an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Don't really know what that was, but again, I picked it up at Video Game World. Great pop, looks cool, fun to have in the collection. It's just a good addition. Moving over to this side, in the very top, I picked this one up today. My T-51 Power Armor from Fallout 76 Funko. Now, I should say I have not yet played Fallout 76, but I am going to play it soon. I wanted to let the rollout of that kind of iron out the bugs that a lot of people have reported with the game. But in general, I love Fallout 3, beat it. Love Fallout 4, beat that. Love the Power Armor, so I saw this at Best Buy today and picked it up. And again, just a cool addition to the collection. Die Hard is one of my favorite movies. And so when I saw Al Powell at Target with an armful of Twinkies, I had to pick that up. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of with this Funko is that the Twinkies look almost like yellow bricks, the way they're designed, and you can kind of see it in the picture there. There's sort of these circles here with that. But I think that could have been designed a little bit better, but I love the idea of it. There are only, I think, 4 total Die Hard figures, including Hans Gruber. I think the terrorist who gets killed and put on the elevator with the sweater Funko, and then, of course, John McClane. So I'm going to try to collect all of those. It's not too many, but really cool one. This may be my favorite one I've got in my collection. I'm not sure. I paid $35 for it, which is the most I've paid for any of the Pops that I have in my collection. Marty McFly in Back to the Future, the original, playing guitar. It looks really cool. As you can see, it was a Canadian convention exclusive from 2018. The only thing that I think could have been better about this is if his hand were disappearing in the Funko, you know, as is the case when he almost messes up that connection between his mom and dad, or I guess his dad almost messes it up in that instance, but that would have added a little more to it, I think. So Wonder Woman is one of my favorite movies, favorite comic movies and favorite movies in general. I think it's really well done. I like everything about it, and so I wanted just, you know, if I could find sort of an atypical Diana Prince Funko, I would add that to my collection. I did that. I found it at Video Game World, just like I found most of these, and love the way it looks. Also, this one is one that I found at our local FYE. If you don't know what that is, For Your Entertainment, is just kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a Hot Topic, but it kind of is like a mix between that and Best Buy pop culture stuff. I just thought this was funny. I don't particularly love Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I like Colonel Sanders as sort of a pop culture icon. And the fact that he's got a bucket of fried chicken here made it worthwhile to me. So I picked it up. Baby Nippet from Return of the Jedi. The baby Ewok that a lot of people probably didn't even know has a name. That's who it is. It's Baby Nippet. So this was a Target exclusive. It's flot, which means that it's got kind of a textured, furry appearance to it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was one that might be potentially a little bit hard to locate later. So I saw it at Target, picked it up, put it in the stack, and there it is. So, big Beetlejuice fan. I love the design of this Beetlejuice. I think it looks great. I think I actually got that one at FYE as well. I'm trying to remember, maybe FYE or Amazon. There was a period where I was ordering a lot of my Funkos on Amazon, but then one got damaged, and that really put me off from it. And I don't really ever order them from Amazon anymore. And I think that's a good piece of advice for people who are just getting into this as a hobby. But again, I love Beetlejuice, love the design. There have been a lot of ramblings, or rumblings, I should say, about a sequel to it, and I kind of hope that happens, but we'll see what transpires there. Got the Xenomorph from Alien, just kind of a classic design that felt like it should be in my collection because Alien is one of my favorite movies, so here it is, added to the collection. The Solo movie, I think, is severely underrated, and I think that Donald Glover's portrayal of Lando in that movie is fantastic. I wanted to add that Funko to my collection if I could find it, and I did find it, and there it is. So, again, Solo. If you haven't seen it, which if you're watching this channel and you like pop culture, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out for sure. The Elliot pop figure is actually my wife's, and so she added it to the collection. She's a big fan of Pete's Dragon. We saw this at Video Game World, and she had to pick it up. And right near it was Hulkbuster, and being a big Avengers fan and Hulk fan and Iron Man fan, this was kind of a no-brainer addition, and so I picked it up. And you can look at the detail on it. It's one of the cooler ones, I think, just because of its size and because of everything that's included with it. So, very cool. I'm a big Stranger Things fan. Cannot wait for season 3. I loved this version of 11 where she's elevated and she's got the blood coming out of her nose. So much so that I got a protector case for it, even though that's probably unnecessary. I just really liked it a lot, thought it looked cool. Got the case for it, and so it's in a safe place there. Dustin's one of the best characters in any kind of pop culture content ever, so I had to get a Dustin pop to go along with 11, and so I did that, found Dustin, picked him up, he's in the collection. Found the classic Leia at Video Game World, and of course I had to get it. And I think I got this not too long after Carrie Fisher passed away. So a lot of sentimental value for me for that one. When I see the trailer for episode 9, I tear up whenever I see Carrie Fisher because I think she was great. Sad that she's not going to be able to be in it in the way that would have been intended, but she is in it based on the used footage, and so I'm happy about that. But again, great Funko Pop to have there. When I was a kid, mid-'80s, early 80s, Masters of the Universe was all the rage, and I loved it. I had Castle Grayskull, the toy, as a kid. Played with it all the time, had a ton of the characters. I can remember one Christmas, my parents got me something like 10 of the action figures, and I found those on Christmas morning and was, beyond elated about that. But Battle Armor He-Man. If you're a He-Man fan and you collect Funkos, gotta have it. And of course Steve with sunglasses from Stranger Things, season 2 I believe, so another good addition. Coming back to Jurassic Park, Dr. Grant, great character. Sam Neill does obviously an awesome job with it. And I would say Jurassic Park isn't necessarily my favorite movie of all time, but it's the movie that I've seen the most times out of all movies. When I got that on VHS as a kid, I watched it over and over and over again. And I still watch it on DVD. I need to get a Blu-ray version of that. I don't have an HD copy of that movie yet, which is a shame, but I'm going to get it soon. The Big Lebowski. I saw this mod Funko for $13 at Video Game World, and just because it was so kind of random and hilarious, I decided to buy it because why not? It's cool to look at, cool design. Big Lebowski is an amazing movie. I'm sure you've seen it, but definitely a great thing to have. Another one of my favorite Funkos is this Loot Crate exclusive of Dr. Emmett Brown with the 2 battery connections and the arcing electricity between them. Again, love the design of it. He's even got the bruise on his forehead from where he fell. Hit his head on the toilet, had the idea for the flux capacitor. Again, great addition there. Unmasked Vader. This was given to me by my boss at work. Knowing that I'm a big Star Wars fan, knowing that I like Funko Pops, she gave this to me. I was really grateful for it. And this is actually really what kicked off my Funko collection, this Unmasked Vader pop. I just thought it was so cool that I wanted to see what other versions of Star Wars characters were out there. And that kind of spiraled out of control, as tends to happen with Funko Pop collecting, and here's where I'm at now. Another one that I picked up was Darth Maul. Far and away, for me, the best part of episode 1. A great character, highly underused. I would love to see Maul revisited. We kind of get a little bit of that in Solo, spoiler alert, but it's a really cool looking Funko Pop, and I especially like the eyes, how they're kind of spirally and evilly and just super awesome looking. Now, when I first got into Funko collecting, foolishly, I unboxed them and threw away the boxes for a lot of them. But as I got more into it, I realized that was not the best thing to do, especially for display purposes. So I have kept the boxes, obviously, for all of my other ones. But when I first got into it, a friend of mine got me the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I just think it's awesome because Ghostbusters is awesome. And from that point, I tried to collect as many of the Ghostbuster Funkos as I could. So Slimer, Venkman, Stance, all here, all look great. Slimer especially with the ectoplasm dripping off. And randomly next to this is Dana Scully because I have no other X-Files Funkos, but it's a good place for her. I also have a random Overwatch figure, which was part of a Loot Crate box that I received, and I honestly, this is terrible. I cannot remember the name of this character. I played Overwatch some, but it's been a while. Unboxed it, obviously didn't want to get rid of it, so I stuck it here, and it's been a good spot for it. So, okay, so on this next shelf here, unboxed, I would say Baby Jabba, but just sort of a miniaturized Jabba that I've got here, which is cool. The bobblehead effect, of course, is great on that. Kylo Ren, I love The Force Awakens. I love The Last Jedi. I think they're great movies. Can't wait to see what happens with The Rise of Skywalker, but I had to get my Kylo Ren Funko. First Order Trooper. Ordered this one right when they started releasing Force Awakens Funkos because I love the new design of the helmets and the armor, and I just think it looks super cool. And then, of course, Jyn Erso. Rogue One, one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're watching this and not watching Rogue One, but watch it. It's great. I love Jyn Erso as a character and the way that played out. So great pop too. I am a huge Halo fan. I'm a big Xbox fan. Halo is probably my favorite first-person shooter of all time. Just the series in general. So when I saw that there was a Master Chief Funko available, I had to make an effort to get that, and there it is. I'm also a big Skyrim fan. Of course, it's been released on every platform known to man, and I've played through the game in terms of the campaign twice, once on the Nintendo Switch and once on Xbox. And so when I saw the Dovahkiin Funko, it just was one of those things that felt like it was calling out to me with the Dragon Call, and so I had to get it. Bib Fortuna, one of the kind of understated characters of Return of the Jedi, along with Ree-Yees, actually. Both of those are awesome. Bib Fortuna's always been kind of creepy and weird and funny to me, and so I felt like I needed to pick that up. This was just a cool one that I wanted for the sake of adding to my Star Wars collection, and so I added it, and there it is. So, swinging around, trying not to be nausea-inducing here. I've got a handful of others on the other side of the room. Adding to my Gremlins collection, and I may have said earlier that the Flashing Gremlin was my only one, but clearly that's not the case. I have Gizmo, because Gizmo is awesome, and if you're collecting Gremlins Funkos, you have to have Gizmo. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1 is maybe my favorite Marvel movie. Thor Ragnarok and Doctor Strange are sort of vying for that spot, but in Volume 2, I thought Taserface was one of the best parts of that, so I had to pick up Taserface, and of course, I saw this really, really kind of unusual and cool Doctor Strange Funko with sort of the yellow tinted majestic design, and I had to pick that up. The 8-bit Funkos are really awesome, and I want to get more of these, but I love Predator, one of my favorite science fiction movies. The Predator, on the other end of the spectrum, is not great at all. I've watched it twice, tried to give it a fair shake, just didn't like it either time. At first I thought I kind of did, but then I watched it again and I realized how bad it really is. So anyway, it's one of those movies where I wanted to like it a lot, taught myself into kind of liking it, and then honestly assessed it and realized it was not that great. But anyway, the 8-bit Predator, really cool. Boba Fett, out of the box. The Mandalorian, can't wait for that show, but again, a cool Funko. Another gift from a friend, I have unboxed the Jabba set with Salacious Crumb and Leia in her slave bikini outfit. But again, a really cool set there. And then one that I saw recently that I had to have, Office Space, with Michael Bolton and Samir beating the hell out of a copier in the middle of the field. When I saw that I had to get it, I wasn't sure that I'd be able to find it, but I did find it, and it was weird because I think I found this at Target. I'm not sure why it was there, given that it's a limited edition thing. But I found it, and I got it, and I was really happy about that. So yeah, it's great. Okay, so that is my entire Funko Pop collection as of May 1st, 2019. Again, 50 pieces exactly. It's ever growing. I try to get one new Funko a week, sometimes two, maybe. It just depends on what's out there, especially Video Game World here in the Huntersville area. They have great deals on Funkos. But I'm just curious, what does your collection look like? What is your favorite piece that you have in your collection? And what do you think about Funko Pop collecting in general? Any tips or tricks you have, especially for someone who admittedly has gotten into it, but would maybe still think of myself as kind of a novice, just learning the ropes about that a little bit more. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the content, subscribe, and I'll have more Funko videos coming soon. And my goal is to actually do an update each week as I pick up more of these, just to kind of talk about what I like and don't like about the Funkos that I see. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll be back with another video very soon.